context of Jamaica's situation and the huge numbers of people that use it and have used it, the fact that criminality has overcome or is about to overcome our society, the fact that the growth of arms, the proliferation of arms and availability of arms to young people in Jamaica is principally, if not mostly, due to the illegality of the drug trade. The fact that other stronger narcotics have invaded the Jamaican space as an attachment to the illegal marijuana trade. Given all of these notions, the question I really want to ask is that did the only one mention what procedure did Uruguay use to circumvent these so-called treaties that our politicians and our persons who are so fearful keep quoting and say we have to be careful, we have to be careful. Were they written in stone? Were they handed down like the 10 commandments from God? Can they not be revisited? Who was responsible for drafting these conventions? Whose interests were they serving when these conventions were drafted? We need to start to think outside of the box that colonialism, racism, and slavery has created around us. Finally, I'd just like to say before the response about what Uruguay has done and why we cannot persuade our politicians to do likewise. Remember in 1960, Jamaica was one of the first states that declared sanctions against the illegal apartheid regime in South Africa. Similarly, at this juncture, we can take a stand, and we won't be the first because Uruguay did it already, to take a collective stand, establish a workable regulatory framework that will minimize social dislocation. I believe that this is an opportunity, and if we don't grasp it now, our grandchildren will curse us. Thank you.
Before the response, I'm going to just take the last question. Oh man, it's up a long time, you know. And it's an actual question, not just like something say no disrespect.
Good night. Just general questions. So the Colorado state law and the federal law that the US have, is it that the federal law allows them to still be in line with the United Nations, and hence the Colorado can still grow weed, and then the country, United States is in line with the United Nations treaty. I don't know, clarification on that. Second, in regards to the strain hunters that someone over there was talking about earlier, is there any way that, in regards to intellectual property, you will be able to say this is the Jamaican type of strain, it can't be produced anywhere else, and will we be able to protect ourselves as growers and producers of this plant, or can you not do that because it's just a plant? And last question, kind of against the point, is it that with our high levels of corruption and our high levels of crime, and the fact that we have to be advertising national integrity action, all of those things, extorting people that are in communities, own their houses, and one coming to them for extortion money for protection, stuff like that. Do you think Jamaica as a country is ready for something like this? Do we think so? Just move on that.
Respond.
So when we look at the federal government and why did Colorado and a number of our states decide to go legal, we did go against our government. When it's federally legal, technically federal law overrides state law. However, when we wrote it into our constitution and 1.3 million people said, no, we're not listening to what the feds want to do because we're going to do it this way, was why those things changed on us. With Uruguay, once again, if you can show under the treaties that you have contained and that you have a legal process for managing where ganja is going to be sold, distributed, it's going to stay out of the hands of children, and it won't be part of a whole trafficking piece, we're relatively confident that we're not going to see any enforcement by any of the treaties right now going forward worldwide, to be honest with you, with where we're headed right now. Like I said, within the next 3 years, we're going to see most of America coming very close to legalization.
But on the issue of extortion, again, remember ganja is a different plant. The people who extort people in the ganja trade is the police. That's a guy, you know what I mean? But they be from the part or from the retailer. I mean, if you got a jungle and you buy herb, the police knows about the herb sales and they start abusing the person who sells the herb as a retailer. You know, in the movement from the planter, the police also understand the distribution channels and start at the beginning. And so you have actually no space. So that is where the extortion comes from. People can't say a bad man and go choke down a ganja man because they realize a man who sells the herb in your community is a very serious man to still. That's what I mean? So when I worry about the extortion part in that element of the trade like that.
Alright, yeah, we're going to the end. It's a serious question. Repeat? No, but we can't take anymore. A lot of people so I'll ask you without the mic. This is a question. I can reject my voice. Alright, no. The reason why I never came to you, you get a question in the first part. I want to give everybody a chance. We're wrapping up now. First, before Dr. King gives the closing remark, we're going to ask Clark to give a presentation to Wanda James.
And this is like from all the steamers family in Jamaica, Calamari knife, and you know, the steamers. On? Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is Clark Eye, as I was saying, and this is like from the steamers family in Jamaica, and you know, on behalf of Calamari Knife and Dr. Hutton and you know, Clark Eye, this is a steamers from us for you, and I hope like the people in Colorado would like adjust to our steaming and you know, stop the smoking in the stick. Herbs is medicine, and it's how you use it, and it's how you take it. Alright, so on behalf of us, and I hope you enjoy it.
All right. I have the closing remarks from Dr. King. And after that, refreshments are outside.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, let me tender an apology on the part of Dr. Derrick McKoy, who was supposed to give the closing remarks. He indicated much earlier that he had an emergency and would not be able to make it. It is only left for me to thank all of you first for coming and participating in this event. I would also like to thank panelists who presented today, Dr. Horton, Dr. Knife, Professor Williams, Mr. Klein Williams, Dr. Guinness, and a special word of appreciation and thanks to Wanda James, who came all the way from Colorado. All the way just to give us this evening. Of course, once you arrive here, everybody else wanted her time. And based on her presentation, you can see why she's in demand. But I think a lot of the issues that are relevant to this debate ultimately came out, those that were not on the particular agenda of the speakers, came out in the discussion. And I think we have in fact had a truly wonderful evening where we have seen how complex this issue is and how important it is that we continue to press forward. I must thank the staff of the Department of Economics for doing much of the work of organizing this evening's event. through legal, ensuring that my $90,000 teeny ad appeared in the newspaper. With a bigger budget, we will have a bigger ad. And finally, to thank my colleague heads, Derrick, McKoy, and Dennis Williams, for co-sponsoring the event. Refreshments are outside. Thank you again.